Have you ever found yourself sitting in silence? Feeling the emptiness of the room, the quiet echo of your thoughts? No one texting. No one calling. No one asking how you're doing. And in that silence, you start to feel something unfamiliar, something uncomfortable. That feeling, my friend, is not loneliness. That is the beginning of something powerful. Solitude. And it's not a punishment. It's a doorway. A beginning. A silent revolution. In today's fast-paced, connected, hyper-stimulated world, we've forgotten the beauty of being alone. We fear silence. We resist stillness. We chase people and noise, all to avoid the one relationship we've been neglecting all along. The one with ourselves. This video is about rediscovering that relationship. And how being alone, truly alone, isn't the end of your story. It's the first step to finally loving who you are. Let's begin by addressing the most common fear. Being alone is often mistaken for being lonely. But these two experiences couldn't be more different. Loneliness is the pain of feeling disconnected, even in a crowd. Solitude is the peace of being connected, to yourself. One is emptiness. The other is fullness. The world taught us that being alone is something to avoid. It means you're not loved. Not popular. Not successful. But what if being alone was a gift? What if that silence is actually a sacred space, where real healing begins? Think about it. All great transformation begins in solitude. A seed grows in the darkness before it becomes a tree. A caterpillar cocoons in stillness before it becomes a butterfly. A human soul retreats inward before it awakens. Being alone is not your enemy. It's your opportunity. Why do we fear being alone so much? Because being alone strips away all distractions. There's no one to impress. No noise to cover your thoughts. No validation to hold you up. You're left with just you, raw, real, unfiltered. And that's terrifying. Because most of us don't truly know who we are without others defining us. We fear the silence because that's when the truth comes out. The unhealed pain. The deep insecurities. The guilt we've buried. The dreams we've abandoned. When you sit alone, those things rise to the surface. Not to torment you, but to be acknowledged. Solitude brings clarity. And clarity brings truth. But most of us avoid truth, because truth demands change. And change begins when you face yourself, alone. You can't heal in the same chaos that broke you. That's why solitude is essential. Healing doesn't happen in noise. It doesn't happen in the presence of judgment. It doesn't happen when you're distracted by someone else's energy. True healing happens in stillness. It's in that quiet space that you start to hear your inner voice. Process your past. Forgive yourself. Let go of false identities. You stop pretending. You stop performing. You stop running. And for the first time in your life, you sit with you. You begin to realize that the version of you who's been hiding under years of expectations and shame deserves love, compassion, and freedom. But that freedom begins with facing the discomfort of being alone. Because you can't find yourself in someone else's arms. You find yourself when you stop searching outside and look within. At first, solitude feels foreign. Like you're missing something. But slowly, it transforms. You begin to notice things. You start to ask yourself, what do I enjoy? What do I believe? How do I want to spend my time? And for the first time, you start living life for you, not for approval, not for attention, not for survival. You begin to enjoy your own thoughts. Feel comfortable eating alone. Find joy in a walk by yourself. Discover peace in silence. You no longer need someone to entertain you. You are enough. And that's when you realize, this isn't loneliness. This is liberation. This is the space where self-respect, self-trust, and self-love begin to bloom. Let's talk about relationships. Most of us enter relationships not out of love, but out of need. We seek people to complete us. To fix us. To validate us. To make us feel worthy. But here's the truth. When you depend on others for your happiness, you're not in love, you're in codependency. Solitude teaches you the most important relationship lesson. No one can give you what you haven't given yourself. When you've been alone long enough to know your worth, you stop chasing people. You stop accepting crumbs. You stop fearing rejection. Because you've already chosen yourself. You no longer enter relationships from a place of lack. You bring your wholeness, not your wounds. And that changes everything. Let's redefine self-love. It's not about spa days, affirmations, or Instagram quotes. It's not a trend. It's not something you get from the outside. Self-love is a process of coming home to yourself. It's built slowly, in silence, in solitude, in self-awareness. It's built when you set boundaries. Walk away from what's toxic. Speak kindly to yourself. Prioritize your needs. Forgive your past. And guess what? You can't build self-love when you're constantly surrounded by noise and people. You need time. You need space. You need solitude. Because that's where your inner foundation is laid. Eventually, you'll return to the world. You'll re-engage. You'll reconnect. You'll love again. You'll be seen again. But now, you're different. You don't enter rooms trying to prove your worth. You know your worth. You don't chase love. You are love. You don't tolerate disrespect. You walk away without fear. Because you've already met the one person who will never leave you, yourself. Solitude has made you whole. And from that wholeness, you create real relationships, not attachments. You choose people who add to your life, not complete it. That's the power of being alone. It doesn't isolate you, it prepares you. So how do you begin this journey? Here are some simple yet powerful steps. Create intentional alone time. Start with 15 to 30 minutes a day. No phone. No distractions. Just you. Journal. Ask yourself real questions. What am I feeling? What do I need right now? Who am I when no one is watching? Practice mindfulness or meditation. Observe your thoughts without judgment. Take solo walks, solo meals, solo dates. Learn to enjoy your own company. Let go of the fear of missing out. Remember, being alone doesn't mean you're behind, it means you're aligning. Seek help when needed. Being alone doesn't mean doing everything by yourself. Therapy, support groups, and mentorship are tools, not weaknesses. Your journey to self-love begins the moment you stop running from yourself. Because you are not too broken. Not too late. Not too unlovable. You are simply waiting to come back home, to you. The world told you to fear being alone. But now, you know better. Now you see that solitude is not a void. It's a canvas. A place to rebuild. A place to rediscover. A place to fall in love, with yourself. So embrace it. Honor it. Lean into the silence. Because that silence is not empty, it's full of answers. And the greatest one of all is that you've always been enough. Even when you were alone. Especially when you were alone.